I'm Bill Zwecker of the Chicago Sun-Times on the red carpet at the Museum of Contemporary Art for the Chicago premiere of Life Itself, the documentary about Roger Ebert, our late, great Chicago Sun-Times Pulitzer Prize-winning film critic. We're going to see, as people arrive, what they have to say about Roger Ebert. To have the premiere in Chicago, it's got to be special tonight.
It is special, and it's also special to have the premiere here in Chicago because this is where Steve James shot Hoop Dreams 20 years ago. And Roger was such a, he really championed that film, and it's so ironic that Steve James is putting Roger on the screen now, 20 years later.
I didn't do this film as a payback to Roger for what he had done for me. It wouldn't have served him for me to do a film just simply out of a kind of obligation to pay him back. He wouldn't have wanted that. So I fell in love with his story. I fell in love with his life, and I just felt like his life really informed the kind of critic he became, and I wanted to tell that story.
I think it's a great love story, and then look at, how great was Roger when you watch what he persevered through, and then what a fun life he had. His first 50 years, he was a bachelor, doing crazy stuff.
Roger deserves every frame, but I think Gene would give it a qualified 2 thumbs up because he'd like to see more of himself in it.
But what do you think he would like most about this documentary?
I know what he would have liked most about it. He would have liked the fact that Steve James showed the gritty side, showed the unblinking medical stuff, showed it all, not just the iconic stuff, because Roger said he wanted to make sure that Steve showed the man, not the icon. I know that's what he would have appreciated.
What was the biggest challenge for you in making this film? Was it his health, would you say?
Well, yeah, I think that clearly was the biggest challenge because we didn't set out to film the last 4 months of his life. We set out to film how vibrant and active he was despite all he had been through, and it didn't happen that way. But I think all of those qualities that I was looking to capture in that, his work ethic, his sense of humor, his determination, his stubbornness, all those qualities that I was hoping to capture in his regular day-to-day life are all very much in evidence in the last 4 months of his life. And in a way that made it all the more extraordinary.
So I'm Michael Farrell. A lot of you know me more for running the largest not-for-profit in town, the Chicago Sun-Times. So I was destined to become a filmmaker. The way this came about is when I first acquired the media business, the first person we wanted to go meet with, Tim Knight and myself, was Roger Ebert. We're all excited. Roger had been working at the Chicago Sun-Times from the time I was born. Roger spent his entire career at the Chicago Sun-Times, and you'll see a lot about that in the film tonight. When we went, we were hosted in his home by his lovely wife, Chaz, and himself, and we're sitting down talking in his living room, and at the time, Roger had lost the ability to speak, but he could type, and the computer would talk. And I said to him, Roger, what can we do? Now that we're here, yay. What can we do to help you build your brand? And he stopped me, started typing, and said, Michael, I am not a brand. I am a film critic. That is all I want to be known as, is a film critic, and that's what I want my legacy to be. And Tim Knight and I both, it was a very short meeting. We said, well, Roger, whatever you want, that is what you'll do, and you have a job for life. Whatever you need from us, we will give. And it was an honor to get to work with Roger.
Well, I'm honored to be here today, and I think all of us know that Roger is always with us. But most of all, I think he understood that movies were about people. And Roger did, his entire life, have a strong sense of social justice and the importance of learning about life and education and working hard. Those are the values that Roger always treasured. And I thought today, on behalf of all the people of Illinois, we have 13 million people in our state, we're the 5th largest state, that it's pretty darn important that we never forget Roger and his purposeful life. And today, I've declared this Life Itself Day. On behalf of the movie, come on out, Steve. And so, Roger, wherever you are, remember what Paul said a long time ago when you were going to church in Urbana. Love is patient, love is kind, love never fails. Thank you.
I have only one thing to say, and that is I give this movie 2 thumbs up, but you have to hear why there are 2 thumbs. 1 thumb is for my humanist husband, Roger. The other thumb is for Steve James, who did such a magnificent job on this movie. I'm really happy for you to see it.